Once again, good morning, everyone. Now we are officially live. I'm Speedy from Northern California. I I thought I was live, but I wasn't. Now I am. I will have to say everything I said earlier. We'll see if everybody else joins in. We'll see what goes on here. And we'll see if the other guys show up. We gave Scorekeeper the month off. He felt like he needed the month off, so that's what he's doing wherever he's at. But everyone, go ahead and come on into the stream. Now that we are live. I tell you, it is Saturday, July 29th, 2023. Only been live for 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Like I said, I thought we were the whole time, but evidently I was wrong. Yeah, we got lots to talk about today. At least I do. I really don't know if the other guys or anybody else is going to show up to the stream. So you might just be stuck with me. It's apparently going to be another beautiful but hot day. So stay dry and stay cool and hydrated out there. I left my water bottle overnight in my freezer. That's what a lot of us did in the 80s and 90s, especially during the summer. We need something cool. We need to cool our bodies down from this heat. Well, that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is with ice cream or anything of that sort. And that would only consist of vanilla, orange sherbet, and chocolate chip. That's all you need. I'm telling you right now that it's all you need. Never mind the glamorous glare off my face. Well, for my left, your right. My right, your left, I mean. From right here. No. Wait. Yeah, right here. Right here. There it is. See? That's nothing. The glare from this tall fan I found at work this week. So, yeah. It's a very cooling, it's actually a quiet fan for the brand of fan that it is. Normally they're like super loud and super obnoxious, and they're like, but no, this one is very, very quiet. I mean, you can't hear it now because I turned it off more before I went live, so that way it doesn't distract from us doing what we're doing here. You know what I mean? So I'm just currently going back and forth, checking things out, both here and with our host, see if they message me back. I didn't get a text from anybody, so like I said, I don't know, it might just be me. And if it is, I'll probably just end the show a bit early today. That sounds good. So, yeah. I mean, you guys know we start at 6 a.m. every Saturday, which is quite early to be doing a podcast, but that's okay. That's okay. That just means 5 a.m. here is 3 o'clock in the afternoon for somebody else. Like the youngest sibling of our family, he lives in Scotland. So if he was awake, I'd tell him to come in here and hang out in the chat room. But then he would be by himself too, which is really no fun. That's not a good way to interact with anybody when it's just you and a family member. There are a lot of sporting events going on today, but I will not be at any of them. Normally I am. I will be doing something else a bit different today. So, yeah, that's what I'll be doing. Another thing I found interesting is I found I don't know if they're I wish someone was here to help me with this, but there isn't. I don't know if they're called uh, Facebook Shorts or I guess that's the name for them. Because yeah, I found this one short. Give me a second. Hold on here. Let me see. Bup, 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 bup. Oh, Reels. That's what they're called. My bad. They are called Reels. But yeah, I found one, and it's with the comedian Brian Reagan. He's kind of funny. He's talked about Major League Baseball a few times. I tried to save it that way I could use it, but that didn't happen. So it's all right though. It's all right. Yeah, the one I found, he goes, you can never be safe at a Major League Baseball game, especially with the umpire, because the umpire, what does the umpire always do? He's like, every time you go to a baseball game, the umpire is always like, safe, safe. He rarely, well, I should say, they rarely, for the most part, you never hear them go, he's out, he's out. And I was like, at least from the baseball I see, I don't know what games Brian Reagan is watching, but every time I see them, they don't always call safe. They're usually like, you're out, you're out. But then when you start disagreeing with these umpires, then it becomes a yelling match. And we've seen plenty of those, especially when the coach is like, all temperamental about it or whatever you want to call it. He was safe. You don't know the rules. I've been a coach longer than you've been alive, or something like that. And the umpire would go, these are my rules, okay? I said he's out, and he's out. He's not safe. If you keep it up again, coach, that's going to be it. And the coach keeps it up, and then the umpire takes off his hat or his mask or whatever. And he's like, you're out of here. Then the announcers are like, oh, well, remember right before Christmas with the Brewers game? Most of the coaches in that game got themselves ejected from the actual baseball game. So then they had the problem of, well, who's going to manage the team? All the owners were just ejected from one baseball game. It's a few days before Christmas. That was interesting to watch. In fact, I never even pulled anything up this week. Well, doesn't that just take the excitement away? In the world of baseball, that is. Now you see the sun glaring off my body, because my window is straight this way. That's where my window is. Coming from this side. Yes, most of you know I do have blinds, but one part of the blind is stuck. So if someone else shows up and goes along with me here for the show, then I'll let them take over so I can fix the blind and get the sun away from me. But for now, it's tolerable. I can deal with it. But the Mets Red Sox game has just been suspended. TBD, which means to be determined. The Astros and the A's, we'll get to that in a minute too. Don't worry. The Astros beat the A's 6-4. The Cubs beat the Cardinals 4-3. The Padres beat the Tigers 5-4. The Rays played the Orioles last night 3-0. This is all from yesterday, by the way. The Rockies beat the Marlins 6-1. The Nationals beat my Giants 5-3. The Yankees win 5-4 over the Royals. The Guardians beat the Phillies 6-5. The Reds beat the Diamondbacks 9-6. As scorekeeper like to say, the Doyers. I'm sure he's watching right now, laughing at me. The Dodgers beat the Rangers 11-5. The Braves beat the Brewers. The Twins beat the White Sox. The Angels beat the Pirates. The Mariners beat the Blue Jays. And in just about 3 hours from now, I'll probably, like I said earlier, probably end the stream early because there's nobody interacting with me in the chat room and none of the other hosts have gotten back to me. So, we'll see what happens. But at 10 o'clock this morning, the Yankees will take on the Royals. At 10:10 a.m., the Marlins will play the Rockies. At 11:20 a.m., the Cubs game will start with the Cardinals. This afternoon time slot game, the Dodgers are playing the Rangers. The Blue Jays are playing the Marlins. The Diamondbacks are playing the Reds. The Orioles are playing the Rays. Padres are playing against the Tigers. My Giants will beat the Nationals again today. I promise you that. Okay, well, hopefully I shouldn't. The Mets will play the Red Sox at 4 p.m. Well, a little after 4. Phillies and the Guardians. The White Sox will play the Twins. The Braves will play the Brewers again. I guess they're doing a series against each other because they've been playing each other for a while the last few weeks. They just played each other last night. And at the 6 o'clock hour, the Pirates are playing the Angels. The Astros again are taking on the A's. And then, yeah, a lot of the same teams that played last night and that will be playing today, half of them are going to be playing each other again tomorrow. So there's your weekend of baseball. But yeah, comedian Brian Reagan, he's kind of funny. You might not think he's funny, but I just think he's a little funny. By the way, he tells jokes. You know. So yeah, that's what's been going on. Speaking of baseball, the Red Sox have been tempted to do a pitching change, but not when they have Nick Pivetta in their lineup. I mean, have you seen his work? He's been striking out 13 players, which led to a 7-0 game a few weeks ago. But if he's your main guy, if he's the one doing all the strikeouts for you, not allowing anybody to get on base or, for that matter, even a home run. And so the Red Sox management is like, we should take him out of the rotation. Put another pitcher in there. But then you have the other managers on the team going, but he's our best guy. It reminds me of what Danny Glover said in the movie Angels in the Outfield. I can't trade my worst player for my best player. And remember what the kid said? Well, if you want to win, you've got to put in the guy that sucks. The guy that's never pitched a day in his life. What he was saying was, even though he doesn't know what the heck he's doing, you have to put him in. And I still remember that classic scene. I wish I could air it, but I'm not like the other host. I don't have a second monitor. I have no way to even hook up a second monitor. But if I did, I would transfer it over to the other monitor, which would be right here in front of me. And then we could watch it together. Because he just goes like this, takes his hat off, and he goes, shoot, shoot. Because he knows the kid is right. This young kid is right. That's when he goes to Mel Gibson's character, and he's like, you're off relieving pitcher, and you're starting today. And he's like, what? He's like, you're pitching today. He's like, all right. He's like, well, where are you going? He's like, well, you said I'm pitching. Well, get your equipment, get your stuff ready. And then you know the rest of the story. He knocks it out of the park every single time they play. So, you know. Yeah, that's one of the more interesting stories I came up with for this week, that the Red Sox were like, take him out. No, leave him in. Take him out. No. Just somebody in management for the Red Sox, make up your mind. Otherwise, you're going to have a whole bunch of angry, very angry fans. You know what else just came to mind going back to that movie? Because when the announcer goes, now pitching for the Angels, Chris Hammerling will replace Mitchell. And the one fat guy in the movie, I think in the credits he's actually called Strange Fat Guy, because, but I just remember him screaming out in the movie, are you crazy, coach? Hammerling for Mitchell? Go back to Cincinnati. This guy sucks. Nobody even knows who he is. But this is real life. So I hope the Red Sox, make the smart decision. If it was up to me, I would just say, hey, if Nick Pivetta is striking out everybody, like I said earlier, not even allowing anybody to get a home run, much less, and you're winning games. Just leave him in the rotation. Don't take him out of the game. Leave him there. He's doing good. I gotta find out when his contract expires because, you know, my team could really use him. Yeah. He'd be great on rotation with my team. Then the Giants can become 4-time world champions. 4-time. I tell you. Well, we'll see what the Red Sox end up doing. Yeah, this. And speaking of the A's, they're losing more games than they're winning. And because a buddy of mine, yes, I mean you, Patrick, always promoting on Facebook. We're doing another special event for the A's. But it's the same thing over and over. So because what my friend is talking about, and what we've been talking about here on the show the last few weeks with the other hosts involved. Oh, someone else just came on. Good morning, Almighty. How are you doing?
How you doing, Speedy?
Good.
So, how long you been here? An hour? Hour and 18 minutes, huh?
I came in about 6:30. It's now 7:20.
All right.
So, yeah.
So how you been?
Good. How you been?
I've been fine. I thought this was next week.
No. I went to the host page and had today's date on it, and so
Well,
I clicked on and went live.
okay. That's cool. I didn't know. I mean, I just saw your message on the chat. So that's why I said, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" I thought someone else would be here with you besides us, but I guess
No.
not. Oh, good Lord. Well, Speedy, you're not alone anymore.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I'm sorry I'm late. I didn't see you. Like I said, I just saw it. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're here now. We might as well get to it, right? What were you talking about before I interrupted you?
Oh, I was talking about how my friend Patrick, he posted on Facebook, you gotta come out and help the A's.
Help the A's.
Really, what they're promoting is every other Friday or every other Monday, it's the same message from the A's.
What's that?
Which is, come to the stadium so we can save the A's. I told my friend Patrick, it's a little too late for that, pal.
That's what I was going to say. All you're doing is giving them money to help them move. I don't. Yeah, and if you wanted to save the A's, where were you before all this mess? Right, Speedy?
Yeah, exactly.
I almost called you Roger. Well, I'm so used to talking to him, but never mind. I didn't finish it though, so I didn't totally insult you. So
yeah.
So yeah, I mean that where were you when at the beginning of the season or whenever you don't start showing up after the fact, right, Speedy?
Right.
Doesn't make any sense. And
That
plus,
would be like
Plus, if you went, that would mean you are an A's fan, and you keep denying it, right? You deny it all the time, and we tell you you're an A's fan.
But come on, it's very evident from the hat. I mean,
Yeah, I know you're a Giants fan, but we tease you.
yeah, you do.
So, and it's all in good fun. I don't mean anything by it, but
Yeah,
still,
of course.
if you went, then that would make you a fan, right? Because you're trying to save a team that you're not a fan of. I mean, maybe you still want them to stay in the area, right? Maybe. I don't know. How do you feel about the A's? Do you care, or do you like them to stay even though you're not a fan?
Nah, I don't care.
So yeah, you don't care if they're nearby or in Nevada. So
Yeah,
either way, you're not going to drive to where they're at. So
no, of course
are
not.
they still across the bay, Speedy?
No, you're thinking of the Warriors. The Warriors used to be next door to the A's.
Oh, okay, that's right.
That's why the arena is not being used anymore because they bought their own building in San Francisco, the Chase
Okay,
Center.
okay, so okay, I got you. But
All they did was go from Oakland across the Bay Bridge to San Francisco. That's
okay,
all. That's all the Warriors did.
all right, all right. But anyway, sorry. So anyway, so like I don't know. It's we've talked about the A's now forever, even though no one likes them. We still talk about them. It's really interesting how we talk about something that we really don't care about, but it's always the A's this and the A's that. We don't talk about your team that much. We just talk about the A's moving or not moving. That's
Right.
now sucky their stadium is and blah blah blah. But we never talk about anything else. That I mean, like we don't discuss your Giants.
No, we
No,
don't.
no, we never. I mean, how are the Giants doing this year? I mean, I haven't even checked the standings for the Giants. They doing okay this year? Are they still? Yeah, let's see, where are they? Be in the West.
I would just
Oh, okay.
another,
They're only 3 games out behind the Dodgers, so I mean,
yeah,
I guess they're in it.
yeah, they're still in it. But right before you came on, I was also talking about the Red Sox. They have Nick Pivetta, who's been helping them win.
Right.
But on Wednesday, half of the Red Sox management was like, "We should pull him out and let somebody else pitch." And fans are like,
But
"Why? He's making you win."
that that whole division's a log jam. Why would you do that? I mean, that Eastern Division looks like all the wild cards and everything's going to come out of that division. I mean, it just looks. I mean, that's how strong that Eastern and American League Eastern Division is. Is that there's not compared to the other divisions and everybody in that, even though the last place team has a winning record in that division and they're still in it. So I mean, when you're trying to get every game to get some kind of home field advantage, if you can't pass the Rays, you don't bench your best pitcher, do you? Not this
No,
time of year. We're in the second half right now, right?
right.
So I don't understand that either. Let's see, the Red Sox. Well, they are 8 games out, but they're not that far behind. They're still only 2.5 behind the Blue Jays, which are in third. Oh, the Orioles actually passed the Rays. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Well, they're 59 and 38. Remember last year they were probably 38 and 59.
Yeah, they're somewhere in there. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what that was a quick turnaround because they sucked ass for the last what? How many years? Holy crap! But I mean, when you look at the Yankees are in last place, but they're still 51 and 47,
Right.
and they're half a game, and they're half a game behind the Red Sox. I mean, wouldn't take long for the Yankees to pass the Red Sox because there's only a half game. So why? I see what you're saying, Speedy. Why would you do that?
Yeah, because the other thing I was talking about before you came on as well, I was remembering back to all the lines that are in the movie Angels in the Outfield when that one fat guy, when he's like, Hammerling for Mitchell, because they tried the same thing in the movie where they bring in this new pitcher, nobody knows who the heck he is, and the guy yells at the coach and he's like, go back to Cincinnati, coach. But then what does he end up doing? He ends up winning for the team and constantly pitching and pitching and pitching.
Yeah.
So, but back to real life with the Red Sox in real life, they're trying to do the same thing. We take
Did
him
they
out of
bring
the
somebody up then, Speedy? Did they bring somebody up, or are they going to take somebody they haven't used yet?
I don't. That's what I'm trying to think. I don't know what the Red Sox are thinking. If they have a brand new guy they're trying to bring up to start pitching for them indirectly.
Well, see, I need to watch Angels in the Outfield so I can get all the crap you talk about.
Yeah.
I may have seen it, but it would have been years ago. Because when did that movie come out?
91.
See, that would have been. If I've seen it, I probably only once and probably didn't. So, but I'm going to try and get that movie and watch it somewhere. And then when you say something like, "Oh yeah," instead of sitting like, "What the hell is he talking about?" But I mean, I'd like to get those references. I mean, I use those kind of references myself. But anyway, so you don't know if they're bringing up someone, or I mean, it's not September when you start bringing people, half your league up and expand your rosters. I don't understand. I mean, not when you're fighting every day for spots in that division. If it backfires, you could be the Yankees could pass you or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I don't get it. Did you post that article in the chat room?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Man, that's all right. We'll see.
But,
I guess next week we'll see if this works.
Yeah.
When does this guy pitch? Do you know when he pitches?
I do not, but I did do a rundown of the games that happened last night and the games that are going to happen today. So a lot of these teams are doing a series against each other. So some of them started 10 o'clock. Some of the baseball games started 11:30, and then the rest of them started 4 or 5 this afternoon.
Yeah, well, that's your time, which is still puts them in afternoon and late afternoon for me. But
right.
Gosh, that is crazy. I don't know what. So I don't.
So what do you think about this week? Because you know what happened this week in the NFL, right?
Which one? What are we? Which I've been following. You tell me. I don't know where you're at.
The Commanders were sold. Dan Snyder has been outed, and scorekeeper has been talking about for months now. He called it himself. Says Dan Snyder put himself in big trouble, and they sold the team for 4.65 for at least a decade. Washington also failed to return security deposits to club and season ticket holders.
Right. Well, did you see that he was fined $60 million?
Yes, he's also been fined.
Who did he sell? I think I remember the team being sold, but I don't remember who sold to who.
They sold it to Josh Harris.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Because I remember we were talking about maybe Amazon might or whatever, Bozos might buy him, but he didn't. So, all right.
No.
So, okay. Yeah, we knew they were sold, but he still got fined for all kinds of crap. We know all the trouble he was in, the sexual harassment and whatever else plus other things. He didn't report income to the league for profit sharing and all that crap. So yeah, he got fined big. I mean, he made a lot of money on that sale, but still 60 million is 60 million, So
yeah.
Jeez.
But I thought it was interesting when the investigators were like, oh, he's been holding money from club owner fans and season ticket holder fans. That's not part of this investigation. I'm like, why not? They're basically, if you're a club owner, I mean, not a club owner, a club member or a season holder, wouldn't you want your money back?
Yeah.
That's kind of like what half of these banks are doing. Let's hold Almighty and Speedy's money. We can hold it for ransom basically. We don't need to give this money back to them. But now the government's like, you can't do that. That's their money.
Yeah.
But the investigators were like, well, that's not part of this investigation. So those fans lose out, and the season ticket holder fans lose out. That's not our problem. I'm like,
yeah. Well, it says here the fine is 1% of the sale price.
well, that's probably why.
So I don't know. I'm just saying 1%. I mean, that's not really a big penalty.
Right.
I mean, yeah, they fined him, but really, I mean, he's just going to pull that out of his sock and say, "Oh, here you go. Here's my 60 million." Still leaves me with 6 billion. So, see ya. I mean,
But then the other interesting thing that ESPN talked about is the fact that they also found out that he's held, well, the team itself, well, he was in the middle of it too. So everybody's to blame here. That there's 11 million in revenue that's supposed to be shared with other teams in the NFL.
okay.
So I guess there's supposed to be a profit among teams. Like, I don't know what that's about. Is that how much money the teams make per year, and then they share that revenue with other teams? I don't think so.
Well, I know. I don't know. That's news to me. They usually just share. They share the profits of like the network money, the TV money, and all the merchandise they share. And I know that he might owe teams money from. They still have to pay the visitors part of the ticket price.
Right.
So that's the only thing I can think of. I didn't think they had to share the profits like they made from concessions and ticket sales. I could be wrong about that, but
Yeah, I think we're wrong because I'm like 11 million in revenue for other teams. I was confused by that.
yeah, well, it's 44 million that had been transferred from shareable revenues to non-shareable revenues and might have been improperly shielded. Well, I don't know what that means, but that sounds like account stuff to me.
Yeah, it might be.
But I'm looking at that article right now. I didn't read the whole. I just see the 44 million. What was the? I don't. But anyway, he got fined, and
Yeah.
whatever he held back. So it looks like he might have owed shareholders money, which is, if you were a shareholder, you'd really be pissed off if he wasn't giving you your. But really, he shouldn't be in charge of dispersing shareholder fees. Oh, here we go. Here, I see what you're saying. 11 million in revenues, including those that the club appeared to have improperly shielded from sharing to the extent required by NFL policies. Well, that I don't know what that. It doesn't say what that is.
Yeah, it didn't tell me either. I looked everywhere too. I don't know what that's all about. Well,
I mean, I don't see. I don't know. To tell you the truth, I don't. I mean, that I haven't read the whole. I don't know that part of it. I mean, I don't. I mean, that's probably very. I mean, it's probably in some big report we could probably find. But I wouldn't understand it anyway, so I wouldn't bother reading it. But it just see. All we can say is that he held money. He hid money from people. That's what we'll say. He hid money and he didn't pay everybody, and now he has to pay a fine and pay everybody. He's supposed. pay whoever he owes money.
Yeah, we'll see what Josh Harris does now that he owns the team.
Well, he won't have to do any. He'll just own the team. He won't have to deal with that. That's something that Snyder will have to deal with. I mean, the new owner will have a clean slate.
Right. Yeah.
He won't. He'll just say, So he'll be all right, at least unless he does something wrong. But yeah, so. But anyway, the Commander situation is all settled. Then I mean, Snyder hasn't
Yeah.
paid his money. They got a new owner, and I guess didn't you one time ask the question if he would change the name, or was that somebody else that said that we had a show once talking about that?
That was somebody else.
Okay.
But I don't think that's been confirmed if they're going to do that or not.
No, but I'm just thinking. I mean, not right away, but usually they don't. But you never know. I mean, that's a Snyder name. He might want to completely. If he wants to get really away from the Snyder era, he could change the name completely and just say, "Look, this is not Snyder. We're going to change the name." And maybe not. They don't always change the name, so time will tell. Speedy.
Yep. Yes, time will definitely tell.
Wow.
But you know what else happened in the NFL this week?
Which one?
Darren Lee was arrested on Monday for assaulting his mother and his girlfriend. He last played with the Bills versus the Raiders in 2020 before he was cut. Also, his girlfriend told cops in December that he attacked her because he thought she was cheating on him because he was like, "Who are you talking to? Who are you texting? What's going on?" And I can't speak personally for him or his girlfriend because I wasn't there. But here's what guys in my generation tend to do, and we do this. Oh, you're not cheating on me. You're texting your sister. I am so sorry.
So who got arrested?
Darren Lee, who played with the Bills.
Oh, jeez. But he got in trouble in December.
Well, they said December, but then they said he got arrested again recently. So then I think he was sent to the jet. I'm not sure about that though.
Okay, so he could be any. So he's a journeyman.
I guess, yeah, something like that.
I don't think he's playing anymore.
Wow.
Well, it just says ex Bills. It doesn't say Jet. He's a former NFL linebacker, Darren
Yeah.
Lee. So he's not. He doesn't play anymore. Yep, you're right. But yeah, he doesn't. He's not even playing anymore. So that's probably wow. Jeez. So he assaulted his girlfriend and her mother.
Well, his girlfriend and his own mother.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she had to go to the hospital.
Yes, he had his own mother in a chokehold. Probably thought he was Kurt Angle.
Oh my gosh, are you? What the hell? Oh my gosh! Of course Of course he was from Ohio State. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh God. Yeah, that's going to be very. Yeah, he's probably going to see some jail time for that.
Oh yeah, especially when you leave choke marks all over your own mother.
Now, he started with the New York Jets, Speedy. They
Okay,
picked
that's
him
what
in
I thought.
2016, and he was the 26th overall pick. So he was
Mhm.
expected to be something then. Well, he did. Then he went to the Chiefs and won a Super Bowl in 2019,
Yeah,
and then played 2 games with the Bills. Oh, just 2 games. He just played 2 games.
yeah, two bills. I mean, two games.
Yep. and then he just said he couldn't get his career back on track, but he did find a way to get a Super Bowl ring in his short career, man. Even though he was only in it for like 3 years, from 19 to 21, maybe 20, but he was able to get a ring though. Even though, jeez, hate when that happens. The dude gets lucky like that. But yeah, okay. Well, I did not know. Wow, and he also has a kid.
Yeah, he has a kid.
Gosh, this dude. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. Now, are we going to find out later on that he has that concussion thing that they always talk about? That's making him act weird, or I don't know, or is he just an angry young man?
Well, it seems to me like he might just be an angry young man.
I mean, but to attack your own mother like that? I mean, come on, dude. I mean, attacking anybody, but yet he was. Oh my gosh, I don't know. This is yeah. It's really sad to read that kind of news about anybody, not just NFL former or current NFL players or anybody. It's just I I didn't see that story, Speedy, but it seems like that's something that we talk about on this show more often than should. But it just seems to be in the news, especially in the off season.
Yeah. I mean, we all talked about it right after the Super Bowl, where, God, 3 weeks out and already, so and so got arrested for drunk driving, and
Exactly. I don't. Yeah, it's just like once the season ends, it's like they're still all pumped up, and I don't know. I, I don't know. We don't know what the cause is, or because it seems like a lot of players, you know, is it roid rage or they're just I don't know. We can't say it. We don't know what the problem is. We just know that there are players that go ballistic in the off season.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I don't know, Speedy. I mean, reading these stories like that, it's I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't even talk about them, just ignore them instead of just to see. But I guess it gives us something to talk about for 20 or a half hour.
Yeah, that's true. That's
About these
true.
bad boys of the NFL.
Maybe what the NFL needs to do is maybe they need to build, I don't know, different rehab centers during the off season for these guys.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't play long. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it wasn't like he had this big long career. I mean, and it sounded like he must have petered out since they were talking about trying to rekindle his career with the Jets. So I don't know what happened with the. I guess he didn't do very well with the Bills. Did 2 games and then, or tried to rekindle. I mean, yeah, tried to rekindle his career with the Bills. I'm sorry, he played 2 games and I guess he didn't perform. I don't know if he was released or not, but it just seemed like he got his ring and maybe he just I don't know what happened, but what happened between that. They didn't say. It just said he played 2 games with the Bills after a stint with the Chiefs. So I don't know, and I really don't want to research it. He just petered out and didn't play that long. I don't think 16. So he played about what 5 years, 4 or 5 seasons in the NFL. So if you played
Yeah,
5, you got enough for some kind of pension, but it's I don't know how that works. I think it's 5 years if you get something, but I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. The dude, he's a former player, and maybe he's frustrated that he's not playing anymore. I don't. A lot of things could go into this, Speedy. I mean, I don't know. We can't just like I said. It's just something that we talk about quite a bit in the off season.
yes, we do.
So hopefully next month, now that they're in doing going over training and stuff, maybe I mean, this is a former player, so that's why he probably he's not playing, so he's not doing any of the training and waiting for going into the preseason next month. So
Right. Yeah, definitely not.
Well, I'm surprised it made any kind of news since he's a former player, and it doesn't seem like he wasn't a key player anywhere. I mean, he did get a Super Bowl ring, but that was, of course, I got the story from TMZ. And TMZ just somehow covers everybody. I don't know, they just I don't know how many employees these people have checking records all over the place, but yeah, they seem to find the dirt, don't they?
Yeah, they seem to do. They seem to have a lot of camera people too.
Yeah. So yeah. So one of the so in June, ESPN laid off a bunch of people. They,
Yeah,
and one of the casualties was Susie Colbert, and that kind of shocked me because she's been there forever. So
how many people were let go and given their pink slips? I guess you could say.
yeah, but I mean, she had her. Well, you know who Susie Colbert is, don't you?
Yeah,
So I mean, she's had her own show, or she's did sideline reporting. I kept wanting her. I've been hoping that I was hoping that sometime she would get in the booth of a sports game instead of just being on the sideline, but it never happened. So I don't know what she's going to do now. I might have to tell Roger and see if she can get her to do our show.
yeah, that would be sweet.
Yeah, but she'll probably end up at Fox or something. I'm sure
Oh yeah,
she'll find if she wants to find something, she will. I mean, gosh, that's. But I'm just saying, for how many years she's been there to get laid off. I mean, that's you know, it's just like the seniority thing. I don't know. It's surprising because I think she was very. I mean, I'm not. I don't think I know that she was popular. Popular. I mean, it wasn't like you know. But anyway, I don't know. So I don't know if ESPN's having money problems or what. But they laid off a bunch of people. I think the other one that I heard was Steve Young, but who cares? But well, I can't say that. I mean, but I'm just saying as a name that I saw. But I don't know how many other. But But anyway, it's really. So I don't know if they had too many people and they just had to finally let people go. And I guess we'll see if ESPN's any kind of financial trouble or if they just decided, we're not. It's just a thing that just cut costs and they'll be fine. But we'll see. But I just thought that was interesting that she was laid off after being there for how many decades?
a long time.
So wanted to bring that up real quick. It's very sorry to hear that she got axed by ESPN, but I'm sure she will land on her feet.
Yeah, I think most of the ESPN staff that were released will probably do the same.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of sports programs out there. I mean, they might not. We'll see. I mean, it's just don't know. Anyway, ESPN that let off a lot of people, and I was just surprised that that Susie was one of the casualties. That's all.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Anything else? I can't see. I don't know. So let's see. Yeah.
Well, there is one interesting thing, and I never really talk about basketball ever, but there was an interesting thing that came up on YouTube about the guy who supposedly, how these companies go, well, here's a $700 million check. That happened a few weeks ago with random fans that are like, I can make a half point shot from behind, half court. And they're like, okay, well, here. But then they make the shot only 4 people have made shots in the co-sponsored events by the NBA and some random company like Western Union, I guess you can say, for example, will pay for it. But then some people don't actually get paid, even though they made the shot. And one guy never saw any of that money because he did it years ago for the Bills. I mean, the Bulls.
Okay.
Bulls. And it wasn't until recently that, he saw Michael Jordan at a convention recently. And Michael Jordan said, "Did you ever get any of that money from when so and so company purchased a check on live television for that tournament?" And he goes, "No, I never saw a cent of that money." And it was Michael Jordan who helped him finally get that money.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I didn't see that, man. That is. So, real quick about the ESPN thing, what I just saw was that they laid off commentators to help pay. Let's see, what did it say? It said it needed to cut costs in the area of public facing commentators' salaries, including a small group of job cuts in the short term. The layoffs included some of the network's biggest names like Susie Colbert. And I'm wondering if they had to do that to help pay for their Monday night crew, uh, Aikman and Buck. I wonder if they had to do with that to help pay that cost because they paid them a lot of money to come over. So for Monday night.
Right.
So I'm wondering if that's part of the casualties of paying off these two guys, which are making buku bucks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm it's just a thought. I mean, they're not going to tell. I mean, that's what I'm thinking, and I don't know if I'm wrong or right, but I'm just thinking. They paid a lot of money. What last year? Big contracts to get the key team over from Fox.
Right.
So I just don't. I don't.
Good morning to Beth of Seven Sports in the chat room.
Yep. Well, let's see. I don't have any thoughts on that because I don't follow ESPN that closely. So sorry, I don't know. I mean, my thoughts is I don't follow that closely, and I'm not really a big fan of either of those guys for one reason or another. But we have enough talking heads on ESPN, so it doesn't. Anyway, but it'd be cool. I mean, I'm sure it'd be a good team. I've seen them. I mean, I have watched and seen them perform and do their commentary. So it would be a good matchup. I mean, don't know. I think it would be a good matchup. Those two, they both have strong opinions. Yeah, it'd be cool. It was better than the guy that Stephen A. was teamed up with before. That idiot, that buffoon. So it'd be a step up for Steve. I mean, I'm sure Stephen A. would have a quality partner like Shannon. So we'll see what happens. Well, I guess "don't like" is a strong term, but I don't know. I think sometimes. I mean, I like somehow when Stephen A. first started out, he was kind of cool, and then as he got more popular, he got. I don't know. I just maybe I don't know. I like Shannon, but I don't know. Maybe it was the buffoon that Stephen A. was teamed up with that he had to actually try harder to carry that show. I can't remember that buffoon's name, and I don't really care. But so maybe I hope that maybe with Stephen A. If he does team up with Shannon, he won't have to, you know, he could actually relax a little bit and not have to face a buffoon every day. So, I just didn't like the guy he was with on that show. I can't remember his name, but he didn't. I didn't. But the guy that he was with, I didn't agree with anything he said. He didn't know what he was talking about. I don't know how he got a show. I don't. And I just think it just, Stephen A. had to put up with that day in and day out. And so, so if they can gel, if Shannon and Stephen A. they can gel, I think it could be a good show, and Stephen A. can just relax a little bit and maybe go back to the way he was in his younger days. But you know, you know what they say about success. So, I hope that's not the thing with Stephen A. where it went to his head and he just. But sometimes when you have to carry a show, you have to have really strong opinions to cover up for the buffoon that you're with. just like Speedy has this try harder to cover my buffoonery. It's just the way it goes. So I'd be interested to see those two, man. I'm not kidding. If that does happen, I'm going to catch it and see if Stephen A. can just relax a little bit and see how these two can gel. I think it'll be good, and we'll see what happens. So
yeah, I have to agree there too, because I think that Shannon and Stephen A. could probably work together. I think they would be great together. But it's like you said, when Stephen A. started out, he came on the air, he was brash, he was smart. But then, a year or two went by, and he's like, "Hey, you know what I'm talking about here? This is what I'm talking about right now. I'm not talking about anything else." And then he became a real smart ass with people and rubbed people the wrong way. And I was one of the first to go, change the channel. Nobody can stand him because he thinks he's way up here and everybody else is right here. And that's not how it should be at all.
yeah, so I don't know. Well, we don't know how much of that is him and how much of it is him getting pressure from other people to help pull up the ratings. I don't know. I mean, you don't know what's happened behind the scenes either.
Exactly, yeah.
So but we'll find out. If it happens. Is that a strong rumor, best of seven, that they might team up, or is that just, how strong of a rumor is that? Because that would be interesting show to watch, I think, and give it a chance.
Yeah.
So, thanks for that question. That was a good question, and I guess we did answer it, even though we said we couldn't.
Yeah, exactly. We answered it.
I guess we did answer it. All right. Got the old brain cells working for once, maybe. Oh man, I'm telling you. So I don't know. I'm trying. What else you got there, Speedy? I don't know if I got. I just joined up. I wasn't ready for this at all. I didn't know who was here, but I'm glad I got on. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad that I'm here because.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been on because work, and then they tried to call me on Thursday. Can you come in Friday or Saturday? I was like, I just need a break, please.
Right. What the heck is wrong? So let's see. What the heck is?
But we'll be all back to normal next week. scorekeeper and everybody else will be here.
Well, I'm not sure the scorekeeper will, because scorekeeper wanted to stay out till the 5th. I think if Big Bulldog, Bulldog, Big Big Dog scheduled the one for next week, so he may. So Roger may still be on hiatus next week. So,
Yeah, that's true.
oh, the big thing. Okay, I guess this is kind of all with Spears and Wimby interaction, where Spears, where her boyfriend actually hit her, not some other person that Spears thought hit her. I don't know if Spears was high on something or not, thinking someone else hit her and didn't hit her. But that was a while ago.
Yeah.
So, I guess we'll share. I don't know if you. Maybe I'll wait for that one. I know I had some stories there, but especially the one about the patches on NFL on baseball jerseys, which is, they're letting they can allow one patch on the sleeve or on their hat, and once you get one patch, it starts multiplying.
Yep.
Because maybe next year, the year after, well, we'll let you have a second patch, and then before you know it, they're going to look like NASCAR drivers. So
Or like half of my friends are like, I'm only getting one tattoo, and then the next time I see them, they're like, look at all these tattoos I got. I'm like, you said you were getting one.
Yeah, but and it's just like when the NFL went to 17 games. Okay, that's one game. They have to need one more game to get to the 18 that they originally wanted. So we'll see how long it takes them to get that one extra game that they want, so they can have their 18 game season, which is I think is too long, but that's just me. Because
Yeah.
I mean, these players are going to be awful tired. I mean, they're tired already playing 16 wore them out. I mean, you're going to ask these players to go, and just one bye week. Nah, that's just that's my opinion that they will, you know, what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Because remember, I said it last year that the league did this on purpose, in my opinion. Because remember, they were like, well, it's kind of a long shot with cost and airfare just to have the Super Bowl in Hawaii every year. We're not going to go there anymore.
Hmm.
So and then they got rid of the Pro Bowl. So
Interesting. Well, I just saw this. Oh, it just posted too. And I did talk about something, but the new Commanders co-owner teases name change.
oh well, what do you know? 45 minutes later.
Yep. So I don't know the co-owner. I don't know who the co-owner is, but I don't know. Let's see. So we'll see. But let's see. Let's see. So anyway, I mentioned it earlier, and now this I don't know. It's just a tease, maybe a rumor. Maybe they're just trying to get a reaction from the fans to see if they would be behind it. Sometimes you say something, you let it go out like that, and then you try to get fan feedback, and then you go from there. You know what I'm saying, Speedy? You just open your mouth and just and then you just sit back and see what people on Twitter and whatever else
Mm-hmm.
had to say about it. But then again, that article also went. I didn't see it, but the article then went to the 5 best names, and this is from CBS. So I kind of, it's hard to trust any service, but if it says teasing, well, then I kind of take it. So I don't know. Yeah. See, here we go. I mean, this dude has his 5 preferences. The Washington Majors. That's to me that reminds me that I think they're naming the team after Lee Majors. So I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't either. Nah.
Washington Red Tails. Well, I think that was in the running last time they did this. Red Hogs. I don't know what the hell that means, but
Red Hog.
that sounds like a minor league team name to me.
It does.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it, Speedy? It sounds like
Yeah.
one of those. Then the Pigskins, and that's another minor league. Maybe not even a minor league name. I don't think any. But that's just naming yourself after a football. But that's
Right.
number 2 on his list. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh. So let's go with number 1. Washington D.C. Football Club. Nah, whatever. Maybe he's just kidding then, because I don't see how that could. That's just going back to what they were before.
Exactly. Yeah. DC Club now.
But then it makes it sound like it's a soccer team, right?
Yeah.
Because even in America, they call themselves a football club, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like like a soccer team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think any of his 5 names, I don't like any of them. So all I'm going to do is say boo. So they all sound
Exactly.
sucky.
Yeah.
They all sound sucky. If that's his top 5, he needs to stop writing. Maybe it's a new career, or at least he shouldn't be in marketing. That's for damn sure. They should just go back.
Right.
They should just go back to the Redskins and say "fuck you, people." But they won't. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Speedy. I cussed. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cuss, Speedy. Oh, geez. I apologize. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. But none of those teams, I mean, tickle my fancy. That's for damn sure. So.
Yeah. Well, it also reminds me of, when the wrestling heyday started in the 90s and got popular, and Vince McMahon and all his team of writers were like, this guy Steve Austin needs a new name. He wants his own name. And the writers came back with a whole list of names, and one of the names was Fang McFrost.
Was what?
Yeah, one of the writers goes, hey, I wrote this name down. And he looks at me and goes, you're not going to go on TV, put me on TV and call me Fang McFrost. No.
Jeez.
He's like, I thought I was surrounded by geniuses here. This dream of writers is pathetic. They're not a dream team. They're too cartoonish.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, like he said on his special, he was still with his ex-wife years ago at the time, and he's watching this telecast of this one guy, and he's trying to get ideas from the guy and what the character looks like. And his English wife at the time, she goes, here's your tea, Steve. Drink your tea before it gets stone cold. And she was like, that's your name. Your name is Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he went to Vince and the writers and he goes, hey, I got a name.
Oh, gosh.
And that's when Vince was like, he can do whatever he wants. I don't care anymore.
Jeez.
So yeah.
Yeah, well, that's Jim McMahon for you, though. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I am trying. Okay. Anyway, I am. So.
Yeah, I'm like you. I thought I would be prepared, but then I wasn't prepared. But I'm here. And so are you.
Well, we're here, so that's all that matters, Only thing I can tell you is that for the Browns are going to go back and wear for a few games wear a white helmet. So I think it's a throwback, but it's going to be a white helmet with the stripes. So that's interesting. But that just follows suit with the Bengals white helmet. It's like they just, you know what, the Bengals have a white helmet. Why don't we go back and get our own white helmet? It's like when Atlanta back in the day went all black and with the Dirty Birds with that coach, which I can't remember. And then everybody started trying to get their own black uniform. Remember that back in the 90s there, Speedy?
Yeah.
What was his name, man? Because I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name. I can see his face. But anyway, someone will. There's nobody in the chat room to help us out either, which is crazy.
No anime girl, no nothing today.
So anyway, you know what I mean. Everybody tried to get their own, black uniform. Then after they did that, called it, you know what I mean. So
yeah.
So I can't. Yes, we can find out who it is.
But that's why in the 90s they were like, most sports franchises were like, well, you guys need a home jersey, you guys need the away jerseys. That way there's no confusion. Because if everybody's wearing a black jersey, and we've seen it happen in 2011, 2012, and 2015, where the referees are like, holding offense number 78, when it's actually the wrong guy.
Yeah.
It's not even the guy who did the penalty.
Jerry Glanville, right? It was Jerry Glanville, 1990. Okay. Yeah, it was Jerry. Jerry Glanville did that, and they were called the Dirty Birds while he was there. I don't know how long that lasted, but they started a trend too, where everybody was trying to find out how to get this black jersey worked up, So I don't know. The Bengals got their all white helmet, and so the Browns have now followed suit. So we'll see if anybody else throughout the years tries to get their all white uniform. We'll see. But then again, it's just another item to sell. Because I already saw that they had the helmet for sale for $179. So it's just another thing to sell. So that's another reason for some of these changes. It's another item, another merch piece. That's all it is. It's just another way to make money. So
right.
That's why they always have these alternative jerseys thrown in through the season, and it's a money thing, but still, sometimes it can be cool and sometimes not. But anyway, that's just. Then again, I don't know why I have to do a picture. You just use the Buffalo Bills helmet as a prototype, but take the buffalo off of it, and it's all white. So that's all you have to do. Take any white helmet and take off their logo, and there's your Browns white helmet. So there you go. So
yeah, I mean, we've talked about this too a lot. Because the only reason teams started doing name changing was, this team owner was offended by that team owner, and then the fans got involved. Hey, change that logo. That's racist. Like, well, it's just the name. I don't care. It's racist to us.
yeah,
And then a lot of owners started giving in. All right, calm down, everybody. We'll change the name of this team. So
right. So I believe that in the World Cup yesterday, the USA did beat Vietnam 3-0. So we finally beat Vietnam. Okay.
yeah.
40 years later, we beat Vietnam. I guess the next on our list should be Afghanistan. Maybe we can beat them and then finally beat them too. So, anyway, so that was yesterday. Spain beat Costa Rica 3-0, and Japan beat Zambia 5-0, and England beat Haiti 1-0, and Denmark beat China 1-0, and so anyway, that's what's going. That was the scores from yesterday, I believe. So not sure how that all works out, but some have played 2 games and some have played 1 game, and let's see. Oh gosh, I can't even. But anyway, that's the women's soccer or football or the World Cup. Well, the United States are 1-1, and so and Vietnam is 1 with. Well, actually, that's not true. I'm reading this all wrong. The United States is 1-0. Vietnam is 0-1, and Netherlands are 0-0, and Portugal is 0-0 in the Group E. There's a lot of people, a lot of teams in it. Gosh, Group G, Group H. Holy crap. The whole world's in this damn thing. I guess it is a World Cup, but I didn't think there'd be that many. Mm-hmm. So I guess everybody's played 1 game or no games yet. So, I mean, there are games tomorrow. So
yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how many people follow it, but I just know that the USA did win, so they are 1-0 in their division by beating Vietnam. So that's good news, I guess. We'll see how that works out. But there's a lot of teams involved, and I don't know how long it lasts. I don't know much about it. So I just thought I'd give it a quick whirl since we're here, and just to give us something to chat about for 30 seconds. But I hope that the U.S. does well in this tournament, or what cup? The World Cup.
Yeah, the World Cup. Yeah, I saw a little bit of that last night on FS1.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
That game or another game?
No, that game. I saw the women kicking the soccer ball around back and forth.
Oh, okay. So you did watch a little bit of it. Okay.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
Okay. Were you interested in it at all, or were you just flipping channels?
I was just flipping channels because,
Okay. But how long did you stop, though?
Well, I watched it for about an hour, and then they were like, well, we've got SmackDown coming on.
Okay. Something more important was coming on. So you were killing time until SmackDown. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. But at least you got an hour in.
Yeah, I got an hour of soccer in.
Did you see any scoring then when you were watching?
No.
So you watch an hour when they didn't score.
Right.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does. But
so do you refer to it as soccer or football, Speedy?
Well, I played soccer when I was younger, so that's what I call it.
Okay.
Then when I got older, everybody from Mexico was like, "No, it's football." It's like, no, it's soccer. And
Oh, I did that. Okay. Wow. Did they say anything to you when you tried to make that? When you would say it was soccer?
Well, sometimes they would, turn it. It would turn into a verbal altercation, then we get physical, and then we get violent.
What? Are you kidding?
No.
Well, they do love their football.
They do.
You are getting in the way. I mean, you're getting way. You're talking about their main sport or one of their main. Their main. They love their.
Yeah.
I mean, if I see whatever Mexicans watching soccer, I will call it football, just to be respectful. But I know that. I mean, but I don't see that very often. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, but still, it I know that we call it soccer because we don't want to get confused with our American football.
Right. Yeah.
So you know, you know what I found out. And this is interesting. That there is a women's tackle football league in Italy.
Wow.
Some girl, I forget what she. Oh, she saw it. She saw it. Someone kept quoting Vince Lombardi. So she looked up Vince Lombardi, got interested in football, and started a league in Italy. I think there's like 6 or 8 teams throughout Italy, but it's an American. It's football. It's tackle too. It's not flag or anything. It's an actual league. And I thought that was pretty interesting that this woman started this league in Italy. Women. The thing is Italy. It's not in America. I mean, I know there are tackle leagues in America, but in Italy, that I thought it was interesting that, you know, so it looks like it does get played in other. I mean, it may not be the NFL, but still, it is a football league, and I think it's been around for a few years now. I don't know how many years, but she started it. So
Yeah. It might be under the same umbrella because back in 2011, my cousin in Modesto, California, was like, "Hey, you're only 2.5 hours away. You should come up here for the weekend. We've got stuff to do, and I think you would like it." I'm like, "All right, cool." So I drive out there and hang out with all my cousins, and my cousin Amber goes, here's your ticket. That's for tonight's game. I go, game? What do you mean game? Her and her sister, my cousins, took me to a women's football league in Modesto, California. And I'm watching these women all tackle each other.
yeah,
And then her sister's like, I'm friends with one of the cheerleaders. You want to get some cheerleader pictures? I'm like,
oh geez,
maybe another time.
gosh, I'm trying to look it up, but it keeps wanting to take me to soccer, so I can't. Anyway, I know they have a league, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, I just found it interesting that from because I was watching a show about Vince Lombardi, and that was part one of the. It was a segment that they kept going back to, and they were talking about Vince Lombardi's career. So, you know, so I thought
Yeah.
that was interesting. I mean, I just think it's interesting that this man is still relevant today to somebody, since he hasn't coached in 50 years. But, you know, it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
So that was a little tidbit there. Uh, it's one of those iconic series. I think I was watching it on MGM or something like that. And they had like 2 seasons, and I didn't watch all of them because I wasn't interested in all of them. But there was 2 seasons, and it was about iconic players or iconic coach. Okay, and nowhere in there was Jim Brown.
Hmm.
I mean, I kept thinking, well, Chris Carter was a good receiver, but where's Jim Brown? I mean, I can't say anything when they go maybe Walter Payton. Okay, Walter Payton's Walter Payton, so you can't do anything
Right.
like that. But there were some things that they did that thought, well, wait a minute, but yet, still, where's Jim Brown? I mean, he's iconic. I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just something I thought about. So anyway, enough of my rambling. What you got? You got anything else there, Speedy?
Let's see here.
So while he rambles on, so what I could do is, I could go over the baseball standings if you want. While you're
Yeah, but
thinking,
really, I already did all that. And
oh, did you go over the standings?
well, not the standing per se. I only went over the game from last night and
Yeah. Okay.
game
Well,
from this weekend. But you can do that.
all right. That's cool. All right. We'll start in the American League. where the Orioles are in first place with 59 wins, 38 losses. And the last 10, they're 7-3. The Rays have fallen into second place, but they're 61-40, and they're only like two 100th of a percentage points behind them, so it's not a big deal. But the Rays were 4-6 in their last 10, giving the Orioles a chance to get first place. So right now, this is last to first for the Orioles in 1 year. So this is right now it's something. The Blue Jays are 54-44. They're 5.5 back, 6-4 in their last 10. The Red Sox are 51-46, 8 games back, 7-3 in their last 10. And the poor little Yankees are 51-47, 8.5 back, and they are slumping at 3-7 in their last 10. So doesn't matter. The last place, they're still above 500, and they're still probably in the hunt for a wild card. So doesn't matter. That whole division, as I said earlier, is all the wild cards right now are probably going to come from that division. There's just no room for anybody else once I get back here. The Central, the Twins are 51-48, 6-4 in their last 10 games. I'm sorry. The Indians/Guardians are 48-49, 2 games out. So, the winner, you're going to have to win that division to get into the playoffs. The Tigers are 44-53, 6 games out, 6-4 in their last 10. So they're making a push here. The White Sox are 41-58. They've been 4-6 in their last 10. The Royals are, 28-71, 3-7 in their last 10 games. So they are really having a bad year. They seem like the Orioles of last year, but who knows? But in the West, the Rangers are 58-40, 7-3 in their last 10. The Astros are 55-43, 3 games out, 6-4. The Angels 50-48, 8 out, 5-5. The Mariners 49-48, 5-5, and Speedy's team, the Athletics, are 27-73. He better get to the stadium while he still can and support his team. They're 2-8 in their last 10 games, so they're, if they want people to show up while the air raid's going on, so shouldn't last too long here. So in the National League East, the Braves are 63-33. And 5-5 in their last 10. The Phillies are 52-45, 11.5 out, 4-6. The Marlins are 53-46, 11.5 also, and 2-8 though. They have, even though they've been a little bit of a slump here, they're still right in it. The Mets are 45-51, 5-5. I don't know if the biggest payroll is going to be able to push back, but we still have a couple. Still have a couple months to go here. The Nationals are 39-58. They are 24 games out and 5-5, so they might as well pack it up and go home. The Brewers in the Central are 54-44 and 7-3 in their last 10. The Reds 53-46. They're 1.5 out and 4-6 in their last 10. The Cubs are 46-51. 5-5. The Cardinals 44-54, 8-2. They're trying to push into it. Excuse me. The Pirates, are 42-55, 11.5 out, 2-8 in their last 10 games. In the West, the Dodgers 56-40, 8-2 in their last 10. The Diamondbacks. The Dodgers and the Diamondbacks are battling it out. There's a big battle going on here. 54-44, 4-6 in their last 10. They are 10 games back. Also, the Giants, Speedy's real team, is 54-44. They are also 3 games out, but they've been 7-3 in their last 10. So they're trying to push ahead of the Diamondbacks, who are kind of slumping. We'll see what happens there, Speedy. Keep your fingers crossed. Turn your head around. And the Padres are 47-51. They're 10 games out, 6-4 in their last 10. And the Rockies are 38-59. They are 18.5 out, 5-5 in their last 10 games. So you should be rooting for those Giants. Oh, you did turn your head around. You should be happy about your Giants. They're getting back in it, buddy. They're fighting.
Yeah, they are.
So how far are you from San Francisco?
About an hour away.
So you get to a game often, or don't you go very often to see the Giants?
No, I'm gonna look into going to a few Giant games here in the next couple of weeks.
Well, that's cool. On one of your nights off or days off or whatever,
Yeah,
make a day of it.
yeah, make a day of it and go spend that. I guess $30 for nachos, drink, and garlic fries. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Okay, you got it all planned out, don't you?
Oh yeah, yeah, I do.
You know what you do? You get your ticket and you get your food and you sit down and watch your mighty Giants. Oh, look at that! He just can't get used to wearing it forward, can you?
No, and plus it's starting to get hot up here. I remember my
Oh
apartment's
yeah,
upstairs.
you're right. You're right. You're right. You got me there. I can't. You are correct. It is heat wave going everywhere.
Oh yeah, and you
Okay.
you never told me what you're drinking over there.
Oh, Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
So that's what I'm having right now. There's Big Dog. He says, "What's up, A's fan?" I didn't see that. He must have said that while I was reading my standings. Yeah, he's kidding you too. Uh, so that's the baseball standings. There's a lot of good races going on, as you can see. And let's see, Almighty the man, the myth, the legend. Well, I don't know about that. I'm thinking I'm more of a myth than anything else. Uh, so don't know. Maybe Peter Dog. Peter. I'll join us later on. Peter Dog. Oh, good. Sounds like something you see on someone's menu. Get your Peter Dog. Get your Peter Dog here. Put some ketchup and mustard on your Peter Dog. Even though that might be a double entendre, I don't know. Could be a little bit redundant saying Peter Dog, but especially. But anyway. So, anything else there? I'm over the standings. I don't. The only thing I have, and I don't know if is. I was talking about the baseball patches, okay? And the Mets have a patch, and it's from a hospital, and they're paying $33 million to the team to wear that patch. And that should tell you that healthcare is very healthy right now, because if a hospital can pay that much money to have a team wear their patch, and that also is an example of the high cost of healthcare. I mean, they're not struggling if they can do that. Wouldn't you think, Speedy, that they're not struggling if they can pay that kind of money for the Mets to wear a patch? I can understand a corporation wanting to jump on board, but a hospital, I don't know about that. I mean, Speedy, I'm thinking that never mind. So far I've called you Roger and Big Dog, so I've insulted you twice.
Yeah.
So
where's my steel chair at?
yeah. So I don't know. That just seems a little. I don't know. It just seems like that shouldn't be. I mean, if that just to me proves that healthcare is very healthy and they're very profitable. And that's right. You're at Comic-Con. That's fine. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you're at Comic-Con.
You have fun too. Is Roger with? And I guess you and Roger, right? Did Roger go along with you? So have a good time there, Peter.
Probably not.
Big Dog's at Comic-Con, so he's having a better time than we are.
Oh yeah, you.
He should still check in and show us around a little bit, but he won't do that. But anyway, I just want to bring it up real quick because I just didn't see why a hospital would show off like that, and that just, that money could go to better use than a patch if you're in healthcare, I believe. That's my view.
Especially, I mean, everybody knows that last week and this week in 2015 was when I had the emergency happen in Vegas. And it turns out, because once I got home from Vegas, I got on this computer right here in front of me. Turns out I was only 3 minutes away from the hospital, and they were like, "Well, here's your hospital bill, $900."
Jeez.
But yet in Canada, everything is free in Canada, including healthcare. But here in the United States, it's, oh, you got to pay for this, you got to pay for that.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's I don't know. I that in a way it's political because of you want to call it Obamacare or whatever. Because I just think once everybody had to pay for healthcare, and everybody was just going to take advantage of it. Because if everybody had to have healthcare, well, then you can raise your costs and just charge the insurance out the butt, and then insurance things probably went up too. But I'm just saying, or just stayed. But I'm just saying, if everybody has insurance, everything can go up because insurance is going to cover. You have to worry about. You might have a premium or a copay, which I guess well, 15. I guess was that a copay or was just a bill? You didn't have insurance at the time.
No, that was the bill because I didn't have anything at that time.
Okay. So you were breaking the law, or was that before Obamacare?
That was after Obamacare.
Oh, so you were breaking the law. Ooh. But anyway, well, $900. I mean, that's pretty cheap for a hospital visit, though, Speedy. In this country, I mean, usually the emergency room costs a big boatload of money.
Yeah,
Anyway,
well,
I know what you mean.
yeah. I was only there for 3.5 days, and then they were like, "Okay, you can go. Get your butt back to California." So that's what I did.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So, well, I'm glad you got better though.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing to take away from that is that you got better. So.
Mm-hmm. I sound like the original Shredder in the original Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah, you do.
Mm-hmm.
So what thing's going on here? Oh, okay. So you said you had to watch what last night after soccer?
SmackDown, because they weren't on Fox. They told everybody last week we're not going to be on Fox. We'll be on FS1 next week. So
Yeah.
that's what I did. I watched soccer, and then they did an early start time from 7:30 to 9:30, which was interesting considering that normally SmackDown from 8 to 10. So
Wow.
yeah, and I'm sure everybody has seen the video where there's a video on YouTube titled "Cody Rhodes shows his wife after Raw went off the air," which, if you've seen it, he doesn't actually bring Brandy into the ring and show her off to the fans. And he said it himself after Raw went off the air in that video. You know who she is. You know what she looks like. I don't need to bring her in here.
Hmm.
So that video is just clickbait. So if you see that title, don't click on it. You can watch it if you want, but I'm just telling you now. He doesn't actually bring her in the ring, and well, everybody knows who she is. So
Right. So did you like what you watched then?
yeah, it was very good. I wasn't. sure what they were trying to do at the end with Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso, because they got close enough and gave each other a little hug, and that's basically how SmackDown went off the air. And I was like, kind of interesting. So they're slowly setting things up for SummerSlam in 2 weeks. They got that SummerSlam pay-per-view coming up.
Okay.
Also, I'm enjoying the new AEW video game. Sure, it's not perfect, but we all know that anything brand new comes out is not perfect. I mean, hell, in a few weeks, we're going to have Five Guys near my job open up, and I don't know if their grand opening is going to be grand. Since, how many of us have gone to a restaurant and asked specifically for something that we don't need in our meal?
Right.
Like the Almighty over here. He's like, I don't want no tomatoes. And what do? They give him tomatoes.
You're right. I do ask for no tomatoes, and sometimes I do get tomatoes, so I have to pick them off.
Wow, I didn't know that about Almighty.
Well, you were pretty good. That's a good guess. I like it. But you were correct. But sometimes, even though you pick off the tomato, you still have that tomato taste on it because it sat on there long enough to get the juice on the burger. You know what I'm talking about? Ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how you feel about tomatoes, but I'm just saying. Ugh. I'm not a big fan, but I don't know why. I mean, yeah, I'll eat ketchup, but I don't want a tomato. But yeah. But that was an excellent guess. I have to give you credit for that, Speedy. Good one.
Yeah, well, that's why if you go back and you look at the picture that I posted when I was with Scorekeeper when I went to LA with that burger place, there was no tomato on my burger. Why? Because I took it off. And my brothers and my sisters were like, have you lost your mind? No tomatoes on your burger anymore? What's happened here?
Oh, did you used to want tomatoes on your burger?
I used to, but I don't know what happened after my surgery, but after I had that surgery in 2015, tomatoes, they just don't taste right anymore for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Oh my! So you had a little bit of a side effect, huh?
Probably.
Did they put you under at any time? Under?
Yeah, they did.
So maybe some aliens messed with you while you were under. But it is, maybe when they gave you an anal probe, it messed up your taste buds for tomatoes. I don't know.
Maybe it was either an alien or what I found out once they released me from the hospital. I saw the paperwork, and I went through the surgery paper, and one of the conditions on the surgery was, oh, morphine, and morphine for the surgery. Like, oh, okay.
Well, yeah, well, they have to take care of, have to do something when they do stuff. And luckily, you didn't get addicted to it. So that was the good thing. At least I didn't, at least I don't, I guess I'm assuming that. Did you get addicted to morphine then or did not?
No.
Well, then that's the good news. I mean, they might have gave you morphine, but at least you didn't walk out needing a fix. So,
yeah, really.
Because that would have been worse than not liking tomatoes. So
yeah, so far in the AEW video game, I unlocked Cody Rhodes and I've unlocked Aubrey Edwards because I went to the little store that's in the game and it said purchase now. So I'm like, I'll use my points to buy them. But I'm not sure what copy I have because I know a lot of copies got new patches actually a week ago today for all platforms. So they're starting to fix a lot of things. So, we'll see what happens with that.
Huh. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, very cool. And I'm probably going to mess around with that game tomorrow.
All right.
Afternoon.
So I also remember a while back that you were pretty excited about the new Madden game coming out, Madden 24. So are you still excited about that? Because I remember you saying you wanted to buy that one. I don't think you bought one in a while, but you said you wanted to get this one because you were excited about the new updates or something.
Yeah. So
So
I haven't got anything on the Madden games yet, but I will eventually.
well, does that come out this month sometime, or is it out already?
I'm not sure. So
I mean, you would think you would. I don't know. I don't know when it's going to come out, but I guess you see a big display when you walk in the store, so you'll know it's out. So
yep,
I
they'll
know
have the
that
big.
you're.
They'll have
I
the
know that you mentioned that. Oh, I don't know, months ago. Really, I mean, you
yeah,
really were on. You because I mean, you said, "Oh, I haven't." Because when's the last time you bought one? I don't think you buy one every year, do you?
no, I don't.
So I don't. I don't either. I mean, it's like okay, unless they have some big, you don't really need to buy one every year because that isn't worth the money, unless you want to play online, I guess, every year. But still,
Yeah,
then but that's the dumb thing about it. They don't let you. Like you can't. They shut it down. It's if you your old game, and I don't think they should do that, but that's the way it goes. They want you to buy that new one. They want you to spend another $70. So, you know,
yeah, exactly.
and it's not really worth it because it's not that many. It's not enough updates to make it worth the price. Or they just add players, and hopefully
Hmm.
you can get some of those new players before it shuts down. So, or how long can you get? If you can't play online, can you still get new rosters even though you have an old game? I mean, a year-old game.
I'm sure you can.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I don't know. I mean, I know that it's they well, you know what I mean. So
Yeah, I know what you mean. And also, ever since WrestleMania with the whole Ray and Dom father and son thing, but then they changed it, and now they're like, because I had the 4th of July off,
yeah.
so I was able to last week. I was able to watch Raw last Monday night, and then the same thing this Monday. I didn't work this Monday, so
Uh,
they gave me Tuesday off. So I'm like, I'll stay up and watch Raw, and Corey Graves is like, look who's here! It's the man himself, man who's been harbingered by the system, Dirty Dom. And I'm like, at first last week, I'm like, Dirty Dom. That's kind of a silly name, like we talked about earlier with temperature-based names.
right, right.
But now it's starting to grow on me for some reason by the writers. So
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So as you can see, real quick, the game comes out August 15th for Madden 24.
yep, so it's a few weeks away.
So start saving up your shekels unless you have enough points to buy that game too.
No, I'm sure I do.
Okay. So I guess you buy a lot of video games. Or
No,
how do you earn points? That I mean, I know that usually I know that they just give you points when you bought games or whatever you did, but or do you get points for bringing in old games?
well, sometimes I bring in old games. Sometimes I'll trade in a game. So
Okay, and sometimes you just hack into the system and get your points. I understand that.
right.
That sounds good to me. So what did I? So so here's something real quick. I know we don't talk about this enough, but the WNBA, the commissioner had her mid-season conference, and she was talking about expansion again. So they want to expand, but they're still looking for places and good ownership to put the teams. And the players think that they shouldn't do that, that they should put the money into travel and salaries instead of going for expansion. So that's what that was all about. So, I mean, that's what they want. They want higher salaries, of course. Of course, everybody wants higher salaries.
Yeah, everybody.
But that was one. But I guess I mean I don't know. I don't know what they're traveled. I don't know how they travel. I don't know what that. if they can't use private planes or what, because I don't know any. I don't know that. I just know that I don't know. But I guess they want to. But there's been a lot of team. I know Cleveland had a team when it first started up, and they folded after a few seasons. So, and I know the other teams that folded, but I don't know if they get good ownership and they can get a showing. I guess it'll work, but they have 12 teams right now, and I guess right now is their half time or half season point. So, you know, so I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't follow it, but I just thought since we have time, I would bring that up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess they do get a crowd. I mean, I guess they get people, especially in Chicago and Minnesota, and I think Toronto. They get big crowds, but I don't know. It didn't work. But I don't know. So there's what, 3 divisions then? Wow.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
In the Western Conference, the Aces are 20-2.
Wow.
I mean that. So I don't know. I don't know anything about their playoff system or anything like that. I guess, but I just wanted to bring that up because I don't know. We'll see. Expansion, 12 teams, but you still. I mean, I think with that, I know it's women, but you still have to find the right market for it too. I mean, there are people out there that aren't interested in. That's sad, you know. And I don't know if they have profit sharing or not because expansion would mean more money to get bigger south, but that never works out. I mean, the owners just pocket that money, so that's a bad thought. So, I don't know. I mean, anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up. Do you have any thoughts on expansion or no? Don't care. You need
I
one in San Francisco?
I mean it's good in some ways, and in other ways you just never know what's going to happen with expansion.
Well, maybe they can take the place of the Oakland A's when they leave.
Well, that's the other thing that nobody talked about is if they do leave, let's say hypothetically they leave, there's a bunch of these little, minor league teams and teams that have money for growth and build that are like, hey, we can take over that building and put our name on that building.
Right.
So,
Well, and you wouldn't have to worry about them moving to Las Vegas because Las Vegas already has. Well, they're the Aces, so they're the ones that are 20-2. So,
right.
so that's so you won't have to worry about them moving. But I don't know. I don't know.
But the other problem that I've noticed in sports right now too, and remember, right after New Year's, what happened? Fans are running onto the field or running onto the football field and just going
Okay.
nuts. And the reason is because, well, this group says, well, we didn't have enough money for security. That's the arena's fault, not our fault. We have security. Well, then where's the
Right.
security guards at?
Huh. I don't know. It's yeah.
And then, with the last few years where people have talked about, oh, we got to defund the police department. Well, there's only so much a police department in any city can do now because half of them have been defunded.
Yeah. It's you take a chance when you go to a game and anymore, and that's sad.
Yeah, you do, which is, I mean, going back to the story that Scorekeeper shared a few months ago, where when he showed us that video of, the players actually getting involved and then the fan throws beer at the player. pissing the player off even more.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And then when things calm down, then here comes security, and it's like, oh, now you guys show up. Now the cops show up.
Yeah.
So it's a tough thing out there.
Right.
But then, they've also been finding out that, well, the security guard over here, this guy's not really doing his job. He's just standing there watching. Who? That guy? Yeah, this guy over here in the orange shirt.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, you mean the orange shirt and blue cap that says USFL? Yes, that's the security guard I'm talking about. He's just standing there, not using his radio.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
And so it's like, well, I mean, remember the biggest campaign of 2019 was what became is now the trend now for all of America. If you see something, say something. Don't just stand there and ignore it. And it seems like half these security guards are just like, I'm just going to stand here and watch. When you know full well you have a walkie-talkie on you and you can get other security guards and the police to help you too. So,
yeah.
But it's also like scorekeeper said, too much alcohol is fueled.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, as I said earlier, now that they have that pitching clock, some places sell beers after the 7th inning because the game goes quicker, and they have to sell more beer since the 7th inning comes so fast now.
Yeah.
I don't know if that stadium did that or not, but that is what some stadiums have done, and I don't care how fast the game is, it's still a bad idea. But that's not my decision. So
Right, yeah.
but then again, if at the 7th inning is coming so fast, maybe people you would think that it might increase sales since everybody would have to hurry up and drink more beer before the 7th inning since it comes so fast.
Right, yeah.
And that's not a good idea either. So, either way, it's a losing thing. It doesn't matter what they do. It's a losing thing, and that's where they make their money is off those beer sales and other stuff too. But beers aren't cheap there at the stadium, so
No, not at all.
So,
and then I think in the world of the NFL, they made it worse in 2010 by saying no more tailgating parties now. So,
right. Some places have tried to stop that, having tailgating so they don't come in already drunk and then get more while they're in the stadium. So that has been one thing. But that just means they'll go somewhere else and drink before the game. It doesn't matter.
yeah, it doesn't matter. But then you've also got the potential for other dangers, like, because remember some people were saying that the shooting at that one baseball game happened inside the stadium. But then I watched the video, and no, the shooting happened outside the stadium, not inside.
Oh, I missed this. I don't know if he's still around or not. But he says, "Can the guy in the blue cap wish me a happy birthday?" So I guess that refers to me. So I want to wish Depressed Noodle 34 a happy birthday. You have a great day, buddy. Or what? I can't call you buddy, but you have a great day. I hope it's a good one. I hope you get your favorite flavor of cake, ice cream, balloons, presents, whatever your heart desires on your birthday. And 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 also people that have birthdays always hit the subscribe, like, and notification bell for Sports Talk with the Guys. It's a tradition for birthday people. I'm sorry I missed it. And I'm sorry. That was my bad. I hope you're still there because I just, I might be looking at another screen looking for stories, and that's my bad. So I hope you're still around and you can find in your heart to forgive me. So, Speedy, I hope. Why don't you wish Bill anyway? I wish him happy birthday. I'm sorry I missed it. It's my fault.
Yeah, happy birthday in the chat room, and happy birthday to anybody else that has a birthday today, this week.
Yeah, we might as well cover all our bases while we're at it, so we
Yeah.
don't get no more. So we don't get no more hate mail. Jeez.
Yeah, really.
No, but that's true. I mean, I was looking for things on. I was looking at other screens and I missed it, and it's my bad. And but like I said, I didn't know this was going to happen, so I'm not. Wasn't I just saw that Speedy said I'm here, and I said, well, fuck. I mean, I'm sorry, Speedy. I just said, well, I'll join him. But I thought other people would be here with you, like Big Dog, but I guess, like I said, it wasn't scheduled for today. But that's fine. We're having a good time. I think. I don't think.
Yeah, we are.
I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner and left you alone for an hour, but you seem like you were doing fine by yourself. So needing to be here didn't, but it's kind of cool. I guess it's kind of, it's better to have another person to bounce shit off of. So you don't.
Exactly. Yes.
And you also need someone to tease you about your favorite team, the A's. So So do you usually take somebody with you when you go to these Giants games? A buddy?
Oh, rarely. Sometimes I'll run into people I know, and other times it's just me. So
really? So, well, I'm just okay. That's cool. That's cool. I mean, I know there's nothing wrong with it, but you got to do what you got to do. I mean, I go to places by myself too because I want to go, and trying to, and sometimes it's just easy. It's better to go. Sometimes when you go by yourself, you don't feel rushed that you got to leave because that person might want to bolt or something, and you can just hang out and relax and not have to worry about someone wanting to rush you and say, "Let's go," or the game's over. So
yeah.
Sometimes that's cool.
I mean, I've done that in the past, and I'm like, yeah, the game's over, and then they do this sometimes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a special fireworks show in 15 minutes. Okay, I'm not going home now. I'll catch the next BART train home. Whatever.
Yeah. So, and what's kind of cool though is that the Press Noodle 34 is on Twitch. So that's cool. We got a Twitch viewer. I hope he's still there, or she. I can't, or whatever their specification is. I'm sorry, I should not assume that either. So I hope this person is still there. Well,
yeah, we don't.
I can go through all the pronouns, but then we'd be here for another hour.
Exactly.
I mean, I know I shouldn't make fun. I shouldn't have made fun of that, but anywho, when's the next pay-per-view, Speedy?
Well, like I said, SummerSlam is coming in a few weeks.
In the beginning of August?
Yeah, somewhere in there. And then they also reminded us that this year Survivor Series will be the week after Thanksgiving. It's usually the week before, but
so they're going to do it the week after. Is there any reason that they were going to try that?
Well, because they normally do Survivor Series the week before Thanksgiving, but maybe there's arena problems. Maybe somebody else is using the arena the week of Thanksgiving, which is
right.
why they're moving it the week after Thanksgiving on that Saturday. So
Okay, it's August 5th is SummerSlam.
yeah,
Ooh, it's in Ford Field, man, in Detroit.
uh-huh.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That is awesome. So that's the next SummerSlam will be August 5th at Ford Field. So I would imagine that the pre-game or whatever you want to call it, 7, and the main event at 8. Then, since it's Eastern, that'd be the time for me. So I don't know what that would mean for you, but
That would
I
probably
think
be
that's the time. I'm just guessing because I'm going by the other pay-per-views when they start.
well. The
Except
other people,
when they were in London, I guess.
yeah, because for us, the other pay-per-view for me and Big Dog start around 5 o'clock p.m.
Yeah.
But that's a different time zone for you. So
You know what? As I'm trying to see if there's any kind of matchups coming up that are going on for this event.
oh yeah, there's a lot. I know that Charlotte, Asuka, and Bianca are doing a triple threat at SummerSlam.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding? I like that. I like that. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 So yeah, I was wondering they're going to have that rematch with Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar or whatever
Mhm.
that storyline is going to be going on.
Yeah.
And then Seth freaking Rollins is going to fight Finn. Is it Baylor?
Balor.
Balor? Well, I like Baller better, but we'll go with Balor. That'd be kind of neat. Yeah, like you said, Asuka. How do you spell her name? I pronounce her name Asuka, Asaki, whatever. Versus Charlotte Flair and like Monica Belair. Woo! It's gonna be crazy.
Yep.
Does and then Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman and Solo Sokoa.
Yep.
Oh,
You got it right.
is that a double? Is that a tag team?
No, that's his first and last name.
No, I'm just there's it says Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman and Solo Sokoa versus Jay. Uh, 3 against 1. I am trying to figure this out.
What are you reading off of there?
I'm reading off of Wikipedia.
Ah.
I mean, I didn't. I mean, that was the first thing. I guess I just wanted to get to it quick. It's just tribal combat for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship and recognition of tribal chief. So maybe they got it wrong, but it just says Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman and Solo Sokoa versus Jay. Is it Uso or Uso?
Uso.
Us, and that's why I'm saying it. The way they have it worded, it seems 3 against 1, and I just can't see that happening. So, well, okay, it says C. So are those threes champions?
Well, Roman's the champion, but
Okay, so that's what the C is for. But
hmm
anyway, that's what is that only 4 matches?
for now, yeah, but they're working on more.
But they'll add more.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does that work with Roman Reigns? I mean, Mike, is that right, or how is that supposed to go with Roman with the tribal combat? Is that everybody
Well,
against everybody?
last night on, if you saw SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen, you saw Roman Reigns sign a contract, and it was interesting because normally the person in charge, Adam Pearce, would be monitoring this. He never came out because Jay was like, "This is a tribal matter. We don't need to sign a contract here." And I was curious as to why they were using a hard edge table for a contract signing when normally it's just a little wooden plastic table. But They wanted the hard stuff this time. So
Okay. Wow.
yeah. And I just messed. There we go. I messed up my camera.
Yeah. I know.
There we go.
Well, you're lucky anime girl wasn't here. She'd say you're sinking again. So you need to
Yeah,
get yourself a pillow. You got to get yourself a car seat or whatever. But she always wants. She's tired of just seeing your, this much up. So
yeah, I know.
But so, uh, so I'm
Yeah,
going to have to reschedule next week's show.
yeah. They'll
But
have to,
I like I said, it caught me off guard, but it's cool. It doesn't matter. I mean, we're here. We're having a good time. We wish
yeah,
somebody happy birthday. We talked about a lot of things for coming in. Well, for me coming in, not knowing what the hell I was going to say. Well, I still don't know what I'm saying, but I just open my mouth and things come out. Whether they make sense or not, I don't know.
yeah. I know. I know what you mean.
But so is besides, let's do something here. What else do you watch besides sports? Do you watch any kind of TV? What are some of your favorite TV series that you watch on streamers? Do you have anything like that? Do you watch like those Latino serials from Mexico or anything like those? Those stories, the soap opera things that they have from coming in.
No,
Okay, I'm just
and
teasing.
it wouldn't help me anyway because I wouldn't understand what the heck they're
Yeah,
saying.
that's I know you don't speak Spanish, which is
Right.
unless they have captions. But anyway, is there anything that you watch beside on like a streaming like you watch this one thing that you may watch regularly?
Well, the other thing I got to watch after SmackDown went off the air early last night was that I was able to watch Cop. So
Okay, that's cool. That reality show.
yeah, and that went
Okay,
on all night. So
okay, that's cool. I watch that sometimes too. It's
yeah,
pretty, watch them kick indoors and harass, minorities and stuff like that. It's cool. I like watching it. And okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough. So you really just flip channels all the time and see what you find that interests you. Is what I'm getting is that
yeah,
you have
exactly.
you just okay, wrestling's over, boom, 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 boom. Okay, I'll watch Cops. So
Yeah. But then after that, I ended up watching the AEW Rampage last night. So
oh my gosh, you were busy last night with the wrestling.
oh yeah,
Oh wow. So
and now they have to be very very careful, especially with the blood and guts match that took place on Wednesday on TBS because once you start like you were talking about earlier, is profit really profitable? Because now they're like, well, we can't really do this anymore. We got to kind of be careful of that.
So are they starting to cut down on the violence? Is what you're saying? Because they want. I mean, I'm what? Okay, what do you mean cut down on this and that? I mean, what does that? What are you referring to?
Well, if you watch the main event from Wednesday, they used a bed of nails.
Okay.
And so TBS is like kind of like doing what TNN did to Paul Heyman at the time. What are you guys doing? You can't use bed of nails on our network.
Oh man. Okay, I see what you're saying. The network is trying to control the content, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Wow, they would really get on Mick Foley's case, wouldn't they? Running around on tax and whatever else he can roll around in. Jesus. But yeah, that's sad when they start doing that. When you have to plead, I mean, I don't know what's wrong with the bed of nails. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, they're not like 10-inch nails. I mean, geez, come on. Is it
Well,
because they draw blood? Is that why? Because they draw blood with the nails on when they hit them on the back or whatever?
yeah. And then this actually all started with the All Out pay-per-view event in 2019, where Joey Janela he likes to go to the ring barefoot, and he actually got a nail stuck in his foot at that pay-per-view.
Oh, that must have hurt.
Yeah.
At least later on, he realized when he got back to the locker room, what was a nail in my foot? So, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes some of that might have to do also with how they rate the show too. I mean, if they rate it for TV 14, and if you draw blood like that, well, that makes it go up a rating. Like I don't know how that crap works. They have these ratings, and maybe but still. The things that kids watch anyway, and on video games, and a bed of nails is not going to bother them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They these kids are watching John Wick. I mean, really? A bed of nails? I still need to see John Wick 4. So
Yeah, so do I. I've seen all 3 of them already.
I thought you saw 4 in the theater.
No, I didn't get a chance to.
Oh wow, okay. That's my bad. I thought you went and saw it right away.
No, I didn't.
Oh well, that's okay. I think I see it right now. I still think it's to buy or rent, so I'm waiting for that to come off. Because they come off the theater, they go into a streaming service, it says buy or rent, and then maybe a month later that goes away and you can just watch it for free.
Well, no.
Sometimes.
A few weeks ago was when the new Transformers came out, and I drove out to Pittsburgh to hang out with my best friend up there.
Okay.
After his mom passed away, and we saw the movie. And then we were texting last night, and he's like, I'm watching SmackDown too. But since the Transformers is already on DVD, I'm like, yeah, it comes out today, actually. So,
yeah, there's a quick turnaround on those too. Where did you drive to?
He lives up in Pittsburgh, but it's another part of the Bay Area here.
Pittsburgh?
Yeah, Pittsburgh, California. That's where he lives.
See, when you said Pittsburgh, I thought of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
No.
I got thinking, wait a minute, you drove to Pittsburgh. What's the first thought? Because Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's like
I know.
2 hours for me, and it's like, well, if you drove to Pittsburgh, that must have taken you a week or 3 days or whatever.
Yeah,
we could have hung out. We could have hung out on the way back. I mean, come on. But
yeah,
anyway,
you could have been like Roger and showed me around and bought me the best food you think is the best food in your area.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Well, that's a quick turnaround. But then I mean, right now you can buy and rent that Crazy Flash movie on I think Prime. I think it is. But eventually that'll come off, and I don't want to pay for that, but I'll watch it for free. But you just got to be patient. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of how many people are so impatient that they pay to watch it before, instead of just waiting it out. But I don't know. It's just weird how things have happened to movies after the pandemic and during because right now, I mean, think about it. There are no blockbusters hardly right now. Everything's failing.
Yeah.
And maybe superhero movies are finally dying out. Maybe they're not. Either they don't like them, or maybe the fad's over. Or maybe they're just spending too much damn money to make the thing, and they're never, right. It just seems like after the pandemic and things opened up, people still are not rushing out and paying the money like they used to. So I don't know if it's because of bad word of mouth or bad social media, or nobody's interested in some of the stuff coming out anymore, or they're just waiting for it to hit the streaming service.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of all of that, because they did the very same. They did the very same thing with Mario Brothers. I mean, that was only in theaters a couple of weeks, and then they're like, "Buy the DVD for Mario Brothers. It's out now."
Yeah. Well, you can. I'm just saying, it just seems like everything's bombing, or at least not making money. I mean, it's just there's these big budget movies aren't making what they used to. I mean, look at Indiana Jones. Now I don't know. I don't know what. I mean, I've heard people say it's good. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I mean, I don't know.
Neither have I.
So it's what but they spent so much money on it. I think they spent what 500 million to make this movie because of things that happened. So that's a lot of money to make back.
Yeah.
And it looks like these movies aren't making $1 billion anymore. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And maybe the pandemic has, made everybody so used to just sitting at home streaming that they don't want to go out anymore, which is sad.
Yeah, it really is.
And it could also be the cost, right? I mean, it could also be the cost now because of inflation eating everybody's money. You just can't go out and get a ticket and then buy all the popcorn and crap. It's going to cost you a fortune to do. So, I mean, it could be a combination of both of them, but I don't know. I just don't see anything making money anymore. I mean, it's been a couple of years since you can go back into the theater and nothing's happening. I don't know. It's just something I've noticed, and like I said, I'm waiting for, like, I guess I'm part of the problem too, because I'm waiting for stuff to come on streaming. So I guess I can't complain. I've been thinking about going to the theater, just to go back because I haven't been back since before the pandemic. So I haven't been back. So I'm the part of the problem too. If you want to say that, I just wait, come to streaming and I'll watch it because it'll come somewhere and I'll be able to wait for it to come free or whatever. But anyway, still something so maybe everyone has my thoughts too. I just wait for the streaming to come out and then I just sit at my house but unless you have a great sound system and a big TV, it's not the same as the theater experience when you have that surround boom beating in your ears, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, there is an advantage to seeing something in the theater where you have sound just blasting your brains out, and you see boom, and you have that big screen, and blah, blah. It's I miss that. So I guess that's why I kind of want to go back because I miss that, all that, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it has to be something that has a lot of action.
Good morning.
Jay, how you doing? Good morning, Jay. Well, I get
we have an engineer in the chat room finally.
Yeah, it's afternoon for me, I guess. Oh, good.
He said, "Have you guys ever seen a 4K movie?"
A 4DX movie?
No.
No, because I don't even know what that is. Sorry. I mean, I know what an IMAX movie is. But...
Yeah, so do I. I have to admit, I've never seen a what's it called? A 3D movie. Yeah.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
The last 3D movie I watched was where they made them very badly back in the 80s. And, they give you these glasses and you put them on. And I really didn't. I don't think I can. I just didn't see the point. I mean, I guess I can see it, but then when you watch them on TV, it looks, you still see the thing come to the screen. I guess it's not the same as the glasses, but you still see it coming, like it's coming at you, but it's pretty freaky. It's not the same thing. So, what does this mean? Not Avatar, Speedy?
I never said anything about Avatar, Jay. So.
Okay. But anyway, I'm just saying nothing has made money. I will schedule the show tomorrow, Jay, today. When I'm done here, I will schedule it and send you a link, and then we can do episode 4 or whatever it is, 4 or 5. But I watched it. I watched it yesterday, and I've seen it before. I've seen it a couple of times, and it's a pretty interesting episode, and we'll get to it. But I'll schedule it after I get here. So that's also schedule next week's sports talk with the guys that was the one that we're doing today. This is kind of a surprise for me. Speedy decided he wanted to do a show today, and so that's why we're here, because Speedy demanded it. That's what he did. He went rogue on me, on us. So, and that's why we're kind of stumbling around a little bit, because we have no idea what. At least I don't have. I have nothing. I'm just making shit on the way, as we go. Oh, 3D Avatar. Did you see Avatar in 3D? Speedy.
No, I have not.
Okay, so that answers that question. Is today your birthday, Jay?
The only thing I saw in 3D was when I went to Universal Studios in August.
Okay.
And I kind of, when you take the 3D glasses off, you can still kind of see Kong and and them fighting with each other on the tram tour. I'm like, let me put these back on, and putting the 3D glasses back on actually helped. So
I think not in the theater, but on TV. I think I watched one of the Friday the 13th in 3D, so you can see Jason's machete coming, right? And like, oh, but no, not. I mean, it's like, okay, that's kind of freaky, but you can see it's trying. If you had 3D glasses on in the theater, maybe it did seem like that. I mean, it wasn't all that great back then either. I don't know what 3D is like now, because I don't know if it's advanced with technology or not, but yeah.
Right.
Jaws 3D, gosh, I don't know. Gosh.
The next 3D movie that comes out.
I think I tried to see all the Jaws. Maybe I did see that one, Jay, but I don't remember.
I think the next action movie that comes out in 3D, I'm gonna have to watch it in 3D.
Just to see what it's like?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's interesting. Yeah. Oh, are you gonna go see the Barbie movie?
Really?
I don't know.
We know what Almighty wants. Almighty wants to go see the Barbie movie tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, that'll be the first movie I see after 3 years after the pandemic. After the pandemic, I'm gonna go see Barbie. That's the first one. Write it down in my diary tonight. I saw Barbie and it was very pink. Ken seemed like he was gay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, Jay's talking to you there. He's like Stone Cold voice. What? What?
That's Stone Cold. But I thought you would enjoy that, but maybe not. So anyway, it's good to see you, Jay. I mean, glad to see your name in the chat room anyway. But I guess you're ready for tomorrow with Better Call Saul. I am too. I think we should get back into that, and it's a great episode. But anyway, enough of that. I'll schedule that, send you a link, and we'll be ready for tomorrow. And so, do you work next weekend, Speedy?
I do not. So I will be here next week.
Okay, so you'll be here for the regular
scheduled program.
Yeah. All right, that's cool. That's cool. So I think we've covered almost everything, and actually, we did pretty good. I guess for you, it's what, 9:30?
Yeah, there you go. You got it. 9:30.
So we've come close to doing the regular 4-hour show.
Yeah, we did.
Or maybe, I don't know. Yeah, 9 to 1. Yeah, it'd be 4 hours, and that's cool that we actually got this far. I love it. You know. So, yeah, so you went over today's game. It's we're getting close to the trade deadline too in baseball. So we'll see what happens there too. I don't know when is the trade deadline because the Yankees may be in the market for that too. So we'll see what Roger thinks if the Yankees should be looking to do some trading, but they're still in the race. So I don't know what they would do, but
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. Come on. So blah, 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 blah. I just you know you try to find out when the trade deadline is, and all they tell you is what rumored trades, and it's like I just want the date. I don't care about all these all these trade rumors. I just want to know when the date is. That's all I care about. They have to scroll all the way down to get it. August 1st. So only 2 weeks to go, right? A week maybe.
Just under a week.
Yeah, a little bit over a week, man. 10 days, I believe. So, well, it could be a busy weekend and a busy week since this is going to be it, my friend. Oh wow. So I guess Roger will have that. No, he won't come back till August. But then after August 15th, he can come back. And I guess maybe we'll talk about some trades if we think they're interesting. But that's really Roger's wheelhouse. But we'll see. I guess it could be ours if there's big trades that we recognize. And all we see is your nose there, Speedy.
Yeah, I've been hearing rumors too about who's going where, and we'll see what happens when.
Yeah, there's always good, interesting rumors. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. It's who knows. But I guess next week and the weekend is going to be, and who knows, Sunday could be a big flurry of trades too before that Monday deadline. I think it's Monday. Maybe it's Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. I think the first is on Tuesday, but I think it is because I think the third's on the third. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not far. It's just 1 week or 10 days left, so we'll see. And hopefully the Ice Princess will join us for the show for the trade stuff too. On the 5th or whatever. So that'd be kind of cool if she can come in and give her 2 cents on the trades, especially if her Mets make some trades. But I don't know. They may just. What can they trade? They got who can afford their players. They pay them all that money. But anyway, so let's see. What else you got there, Speedy? Got any more news, or are we just petering out right now?
No, that was it.
Well, we came close. Close enough.
Yeah.
For 2 guys that just decided, well, at least one guy that decided to do a show, and the second guy decided, well, I'm going to get my butt in there. So that's about it. We've covered, things we don't know about, but we still covered them because we needed the time. I'll admit it, I mean, I know I don't follow the WNBA, but I don't know. I just haven't had a chance to watch any of the games, but expansion is always something that I'm interested in because that tells me a league is healthy if they think they can expand. So, but I can see why the players would want a higher salary and better travel instead of expansion. But the fees from an expansion team, I don't know how they go hand in hand because I don't know. And plus, you've got to understand. You always worry about watering down the sport when you get too many teams in any sport. I mean, that's why people. I'm not really in a hurry to see the NFL expand because we already have enough. I think that's why we have some of these poor teams in parity is because there's the talent pool is it's not there. Okay.
Right.
Speedy has John, so I think he's done. You're ready for a nap, aren't you?
Uh-huh.
Are you going to crash with the remote, turn something on, and pass out during cops? You going to pass out during cops? Or the shopping?
No, My dad and my brothers and my sisters do that. Me, I don't do that.
Oh, you don't fall asleep while watching TV?
No, I don't.
Well, okay, that's cool. So I guess you'll have to have it nice and quiet when you fall asleep, then, right?
Yes, nice and quiet.
Okay, that's
No
cool.
disturbances.
Well, that's great. That means you don't miss anything when you fall asleep.
Exactly. Until I wake up and
What
get
did I
up.
miss? How did it end? Oh shit! I don't know how it ended. Now I gotta wait. But anyway,
Well,
well,
speaking of that, because you brought it up earlier,
oh, did I?
the trade deadline is coming up, and then a few weeks after that, we've got to start talking about too about the NFL trades going on and stuff like that too.
Well, the only thing that's going to be coming up really is going to be the start of the preseason. After that, the Hall of
Yeah,
Fame game will be the weekend that we do a show when Roger comes back. I mean, that first weekend of August is going to be the Hall of Fame game, and the Browns are in that. I forget who they're playing, but the Browns will be in that Hall of Fame game. So that will kick off the Hall of Fame. There's not really that many trades go on in the NFL anymore. I mean, maybe I don't know. Usually trades happen during the draft or maybe before the draft, so they can accumulate draft picks.
yeah.
And maybe if there's an injury, maybe some trade, but it doesn't seem like there's that like a big trade thing going on in the NFL anymore. But you never know. But I don't
Yeah.
think, but there's not going to be many trades in the preseason because they already have 1,000 players they got to evaluate to see who's going to be the starters. And
Hmm.
but like you saw, but you're right. I mean, if a quarterback gets hurt, they'll probably just sign a free agent, or maybe they might trade. But we'll see. But usually there's not a lot of things going on like that. You watch well, you feel like watching scrubs play most of the game to see who's going to make the team or not. But I guess officially, when the Hall of Fame game starts in a week or two or whatever, it's NFL season. And then we got to start getting ready to make our picks on that first week in the second week of September.
Well,
Yeah.
you just said it correctly. You got to get ready. I mean, already in the last few weeks at my job, I still have 4th of July stuff that nobody's buying. Then
Really?
last week and this week, we got Christmas and Halloween stuff coming in. So,
Already? Oh, well. So do you have a big sale on your 4th of July stuff that no one's picking up?
yeah, I think I'm going to move, when I go back to work, I'm going to move that stuff to our clearance section, get that sold.
Right, right.
That
So
way people can use it for next year for 4th of July.
well, they might use it right now.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
on sale. Let's get it, and we'll just do it right now. But so I guess your Halloween stuff will be coming out next month, right?
Yeah, like I said, we got some of that this week.
Really? Gosh.
Yeah,
I mean, okay. When you put your Halloween stuff out that early, how much do you really sell anything yet?
sometimes it depends on, the people, what they're feeling.
Yeah, I know, but it's like it's August, and you're like, because you're also competing with back to school supplies too when you do that in August. I mean, that's a battle. I mean, well, you understand. I'm all I mean, gosh, you
Yeah.
work retail, what that. You're
Hmm.
trying to sell Halloween, but then everyone has to fulfill their back to school stuff too, and and with inflation eating up everybody's money. But I guess you'll see. I mean, it
Yeah.
just seems like every year all these holidays come out so early, and it's like, who buys this? I mean, I don't know. It seems like, but then I guess if you think you can sell a little bit of items and just as if the shelf space pays for itself, I guess it's a win, right?
Yeah, it's a win. I mean, remember when I worked at Safeway in 2007, we had a conference call, and that's when it was early September, and then they were like, this day and this day and this day, we're gonna have all the stores set up for Christmas, Thanksgiving, and New Year's. And there was one night when I told night crew, this is what we're doing. I need all 3 aisles cleared from that other crap right now. And night crew was like, very funny. I'm like, no, I'm serious. So I had to go upstairs to the office and get the diagrams that the corporation sent down. I'm like, here it is. And the night crew was like, you're serious? You're not pulling our leg? I go, nope. They're like, when do they want this done? I'm like, right now. You better get started. I'll be back in the morning to help you guys. Good night.
How'd that go? I mean,
Well,
sales wise.
it was pretty good.
Oh, okay. So I guess if they see that it works, so just continue. Yeah. I mean, you don't want to mess.
Well, we only noticed it because the first store to do it was the 99-cent store.
Okay.
So they were the ones that started doing all the holiday stuff early, and now, over the years, everybody else is doing it. So don't be surprised if you go out the next 2 weeks and you're like, Christmas, Halloween already? What's going on? It's been like this since 2007.
I'm not going to be surprised with Halloween, that's for sure. And I'm, and it, yeah, you're right. They do overlap sometimes, but for the next, but
Ah, good one, Jay.
I haven't watched that yet.
Neither have I.
I mean, Netflix keeps wanting me to watch it because it pops up when I first turn it on, and then it also pops up after I watch a movie. I don't know. Whatever I'm watching has nothing to do with quarterbacks. I don't know. That's the thing is, after you watch a movie on Netflix, you wonder, why are they suggesting these movies? I watched a horror movie. Why are they showing me this romance stuff or this comedy? I just watched a horror movie. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with their algorithm that they. I think Netflix just wants to push their agenda. Well, watch this show so it goes up in ratings or whatever, because it has nothing to do with what I just watched. And and it's all the time. Because no matter what I watch, the first thing that pops up is quarterback. Okay, and I think I will watch it eventually, but then I hate that clip they first show with Mahomes white. I was like, oh come on, that drives me crazy. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'll get to it. Maybe I'll watch it now since you said you did, but I'm not really, I'm not really feeling it right now. I watched. Maybe I will, but the quarterbacks that they're doing, I have no interest in. I know, I mean, Mahomes. Yeah, I like Mahomes, but I mean, I guess. Well, I mean, he's a good player, and I just know. I mean, I told you I watched that iconic series on football. Remember that?
Yeah.
Steve? And I forgot this, and I don't know how I forgot this, but with the way they talk about Mahomes throwing these balls, sideways and sidearm and all that stuff. If you remember, Brett Favre did that too.
Yeah.
And Mahomes even said, well, that's who I watched. I got that stuff from Favre. And I forgot about that because it's been so long since we've watched Favre that you forget. I mean, he's a great player, but the thing is, we're used to Aaron Rodgers now. I mean, we know that Favre was great, but I forgot that Favre just would do this shit too. He's running around back there, So, I mean, don't get me wrong, Mahomes does it better, but he improved on some of Favre's little throws. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what happens is you have this evolution of people doing stuff. So as the game progresses, and and Mahomes is a dangerous quarterback, and and the Chiefs are always in it, but they did, and you're watching this icon thing of Brett Favre, you're thinking, well, I mean, it was done before he got into this trouble with his little scandal in Mississippi with the taking whatever. I can't, I don't know if you remember that or not, but he's always getting, and he got him. But it was done before that scandal, so I still don't know. I don't know what happened with that. Maybe nothing's going to happen, but I don't keep track of Mississippi, so I don't know.
I don't either.
It shows training on Mahoney. On Mahoney, huh? Shows us training on Mahoney.
I think he means Mahoney.
Oh, Mahoney. Oh, Mahoney. Well, I see honey. I pronounced it phonetically, but yeah, okay. Well,
See? See?
I
He's
see
like,
my
sorry, that
honey.
was a typo.
I mean, does that mean he's cheating on his wife, his honey, or his side dish? I don't my honey. Oh man,
Jay's over here spreading rumors and get Patrick in trouble
cheating
with
on
his
his
wife.
my honey. Okay, that if it's going to be rated MA, I might watch it. Him training on his money. Oh, his throwing. Well, that's a big typo from honey to throwing. I don't know what the. I mean, if that's your autocorrect, it's your autocorrect. It's really screwed up. If it's I don't know what the hell you typed the first time to get go from honey to throwing. But that's just a that's that's cool. That's cool. We'll go with it. We'll go with it. But
Yeah, maybe,
I
maybe Jay
still like
is
his
having.
training on his mahoney. I like that one. Maybe we'll talk
Yeah.
about that tomorrow too, Jay. We'll talk about your mahoney, and then we'll go from there.
No, I was gonna say I think Jay is having trouble. Maybe he got that new AI computer now. All these AI stuff coming
yeah,
out.
yeah, that AI app. That yeah.
They're trying to take our place now.
Oh, you talk about his throwing ways. Oh, okay, okay. So it talks about his throwing ways. Well, I've heard him talk about that before, and he just doesn't know what's going to happen. Sometimes he just makes it up as he goes. And that's usually what happens when you're running around back there and you got people chasing after you. You got to do something with that football.
Mm-hmm.
And in his case, whatever he does works. I mean, it's not like he throws throws something sidearm and it gets picked off. Someone actually catches it. Usually Kelsey, and Kelsey helps them a lot. Don't get me wrong about that. Kelsey is his number one go to guy when he's in trouble. So, ooh, doggy. So yeah. But
Well,
the
it,
Chiefs
it's
are
kind of, it's kind of like when Matthew Stafford has to do that, or any other quarterback. They're like, "Oh crap, where do I go?" And then they end up throwing the ball, some 70, 80 yards, and somebody else catches it from the same team. We made a touchdown. And then after the game, that was a nice throw. Did you plan that? No, no, I didn't even know the guy was going to be there. It just
just
happened.
threw it. Yeah. Well, we'll see if that works this year, because sometimes you have that year where that crap works for you, and then
Mm-hmm.
you do it the next year and you go back to how you were before. You can't always. I mean, that's the thing. That's the longevity of quarterbacks. Can you keep that magic going season after season, like Favre and Rodgers and Staubach and Bradshaw? Well, Bradshaw got his receivers killed because he threw the ball and got his receivers jump in the air and get hit. But he
Yeah.
actually could hit receivers. Remember? I mean, back then you could actually hit a receiver. But but quarterbacks that we've seen that are great, they got to keep that thing going, and see how it works out. But I know he was a baseball player, so I guess he might get that from that too. So
Yeah.
true. That's a good example. He played baseball, so if he did he play infield or outfield there, Jay? If he played infield, that explains a lot of sidearm throws. If he had to play shortstop and throw it over to second, but anyway, I don't know. Who gave us a like? Probably Jay. No, yeah, Jay gave us a like. Thanks, Jay, for the like. That's awesome. Love it. Love it. Uh, yeah, but then they still got what? Kirk Cousins. The one it's Kirk. Okay, Kirk Cousins too, right, Jay? And who's the third one? I can't remember who the third one is on that. There's three quarterbacks, right? Mahomes, Cousins, and there's a third one. That's the thing too. Is the thing on Cousins any good? I mean, I'm not. I think Cousins, or does that go over like what he did last? What season is this? Was this last season when he had that great season with the Vikings? Because that'd be something to watch for Kirk to see how he pulled that shit off with the Vikings. Jeez. But anyway, so yeah. Is Mahomes last in the show then when they go through the three quarterbacks? Is he the last person? Is he the main event at the third spot before they shut it off? But I mean, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, I guess if it's, I mean, I'll watch it. Why not?
Yeah, me too. Me too. But if you don't have anything else, I think
Okay.
we're going to call it.
Well, you know what? We made it. It's
Yeah,
12:50.
we
For
technically
me, it's
made it.
12:50. So we actually did make it. The
Yes.
both of us somehow got our butts to the finish line. Oh my gosh! This has to go back to. Well, I'm not going to say a miracle because it's not a miracle. It's just amazing.
Yeah. It's just amazing.
It's just amazing. That's all it is. Okay, that's when Patrick won the Super Bowl. Well, that was this year. I don't know. He's won a couple. So anyway, they mix all three of the quarterbacks.
Yeah, they do. They
So anyway, we're going to cut it off then. While we're almost ahead, maybe. Who knows? So, any last words, Speedy?
No, it was a good time. Thank you for coming in to join me and get me all through this.
Yep, yep.
Jay, thank you for being here. Yeah, like the
Thank you,
last thing.
Jay. Thank you, Jay. And once again, if I can get up there, because Jay talks a lot. Uh, oh, once again, happy birthday to Best of Seven. That's not, is it? No, it wasn't Best of Seven Sports Talk. Was it? Who was it?
No, it was the press noodle.
Yeah, the press noodle 34. I'm sorry. Happy birthday once again. If you're still with us, I hope you didn't miss the first time I said it. So, and thank you for joining us. If you get through the rewatch, thanks, Jay. And I'm not going to read that guy because he was an ad. I thought, and I deleted all his crap because he was doing some ad crap. So
Yeah.
anyway, uh, we're done. Everybody have a good week. We'll be back next week for sure. And don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you can always catch us. And when there's more of us, we're not any more coherent, but we're more entertaining. So we'll talk to you later. Have a good week, people, and we are